right, so a little different setup today, ladies and gentlemen. Trying something new. Don, go ahead. You're going to ask them while we're getting set up. Go ahead.
So where are you guys watching from today? That's not what you were expecting. That was not what you were expecting,
That's
was
not
it?
what I was expecting. Exactly that.
So really the question is, how you all doing? I
How's
hope you're all doing well. Another hump day, and...
It's a hump day live, can you?
Why not?
All right.
Why not?
So the first viewer, Catherine Cotton, she's already ready to make it happen. Future Century 21 Curran Oberski agent.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we have a super duper great show for you today, okay? But we're gonna start out the right way. You ready, Don?
I'm ready.
I'm Scott.
I'm Don.
And we're talking real estate. Like I said, super duper. Haven't heard that word since the 80s with the Dolphins. Mark Clayton, okay?
Oh, hey, that's a throwback.
We've got all kinds of good stuff going on. We're going to talk about the market as always, the city spotlight. We have Adam Oberski, the broker from Century 21, Curran Oberski. I challenge anybody to find someone who has their pulse on the market better than he does. Okay? He has all kinds of crazy good stuff he's going to go with for us today. It's going to be a great show.
City Spotlight?
So we can't tell anybody what it is.
Okay, we got City Spotlight. We got Fan of the Show, Stories from the Road.
Stories from the road. So
yeah.
I thought I had good stories from the road, but this gentleman's got a story from the road that'll knock your socks off.
I knew.
So stay with us, folks. Stay with us. Don,
I knew he would.
give us the rundown as far as the market update. Tell us what's going on in the market.
So currently, Century 21. Currently, we hit. Is this in the last? I don't know what these.
You're killing me, man.
So, I didn't talk to.
All right, so new listings this week. We got 27 new listings. We got 42 new pending transactions
Since last Wednesday.
Since last week. So lots of good stuff going on. Right now, year to date, we closed 910 transactions. That's a ton of business.
That's absolutely.
Especially when you block in good old COVID-19 there.
Yeah.
The craziness that causes that.
Six weeks or so of almost inactivity.
Yeah.
Trying to do things from home, and which still happened. Things still happen at that time, but not at the same pace.
So Don, I want to talk about something in the market that's kind of irking me a little bit. So I'm going to give you a little latitude here.
Irking you?
Irking me.
Really?
So yeah. So, and I'm sure our guest is going to talk about it too, but it's definitely an interesting time in real estate. Okay, you're not going to see a better time to sell. I don't think. I really don't think in our lifetime you're going to see a better time to sell.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Because the inventory is low. And I want to talk about, this is kind of heartfelt that I have with a couple clients so far. It's frustrating on the buy side.
Yeah, yes. It can be, yes.
So what that means, folks, to you is that if you were thinking about listing your home, there's not enough out there. There's just not enough, okay? And what's happened is buyers are getting frustrated because that's not one or two buyers fighting for a property. It's 5, 6, 7, 8. Or it's multiple. So that's something that I had a young lady today and one yesterday where it just kept sneaking away from us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being aggressive is one thing, but just it's to the point now where you don't know. You just don't know. It's
don't know what.
Well, no, you have to help people manage their feelings a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you get psyched. Because you guys know how it is.
Absolutely.
A lot of you have dealt with this before, and it's like, you get to that house, you really like it. Oh, you didn't get that one. Okay. You get this house, you didn't like it. Oh, that one. It starts to get frustrating.
Frustrating, disappointing, and when you put an offer on a house, you kind of see yourself in that house, and to have that yanked out from under you in a sort of sense, it can be very, very emotionally draining. So it's and on a plus side for buyers, interest rates are so low that you really want to be in the game if you can.
Yeah,
but you got to do the best you can. And you're not going to win every single time, and all it takes is one win, and you've got it. But you have to hang in there.
Yeah, like I'll give you this. So a couple of people come to me about renting and things like we're not ready to buy all things. Try it. Call them words. You got to try it. See where your credit's at, because it's like as far as on the buy side, the interest rates, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like once you do get a house, the rates and everything are it's
almost free money.
It is. I mean, it's crazy in that way. So I want to give some shout outs, okay? I'm going to give a couple quick shout outs. First, Greg Danziger, new home inspection company guy, my buddy, is here today. Lisa Boyce is watching as always. Cindy Light, let's see who else. Tom Van Ash, Carolyn Babbitt. You want to give some shout outs? Any guys shout outs from you?
I can't see my
Nah?
phone.
Okay. So no shout outs from Don.
Can't see my phone.
Folks, we're so glad that you're watching it, and again, we're going to bring you good value today. So let's talk, Don. We talked before about the seller's journey, from the seller putting your house on the market.
From the meeting to putting it on for appointments.
Right.
Getting
So
it ready for sale.
can you take us, and I'll help you a little bit, can you take us through the steps after an offer comes out?
From the offer to the closing. So of course you get when you have your home on the market, you have a number of buyers come through the house, and they like your house enough to put an offer in on it. No matter what that amount is or whatever that offer is, they cared and want your house enough to put it in writing.
Yep.
I mean, it's a big step, don't you think?
Absolutely.
So part of that comes along is negotiating for the seller and for the purchaser, and whoever represents you, you got to make sure that they have your best interest at heart, and that they explain everything to you in detail, every single paragraph, what every single paragraph in the purchase agreement means, and what those implications are to you if you were to accept that offer.
Right. Now,
So-
I want to talk real quick about negotiations, okay? Because this is another thing that kind of comes up for me a lot is, folks, you have to make the numbers make sense to somebody, especially on the buy side. Like, let me give you an example. So rule of thumb on the buy side, every $5,000 you offer is like $20 a month. That's kind of a general rule of thumb from a mortgage guy.
$20 more each month.
Right, $20 more a
for your
month,
payment.
right, to pay,
Yeah.
right? So if a house, you really want it bad, an extra $5,000, it sounds like a big number, but it's $20. 10 grand's $40.
Right.
I mean, that's still $40 a month for the house you really love. That's the thing you got to think about when you deal with negotiations.
Right.
Right.
And if you get it for a little bit more, pay a little bit more for it, but you get it at this low interest rate, it will pay off down the road.
Yeah.
It's a long term. It's long term.
The long-term gain.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not the short term.
Yeah.
Pain maybe right now.
So after negotiation, where do we go next?
And once you have a signed contract, next step would be a private inspection period.
Okay, so guys, private inspection, in my estimation, this is, again, Don will speak to his thought about it as well, is private inspection is to make sure the house is sound. Right?
Absolutely. And that's
Like,
not going to fall down.
You're looking
Be a money
for
pit.
stuff like, is there foundation issues? Is there the big ticket item stuff? Is there a roof issue? Is there a lot of cement that you got to deal with? Stuff like that. It's definitely not a place where, you know, a couple plugs need to be replaced or something like that.
Right.
Like this little nitty pick stuff drives me crazy.
Yeah, but it's going to be there in the inspection report, and that's what the private inspector is there for, to show you all these things. And a lot of them are so minor that you'll do them yourself, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah, so I tell people too, it's like a honey-do list, right? So
Yes.
the private inspection report's going to be 40, 50, 60 pages long, right? And just start knocking little things out, little by little, little by little.
And sometimes it's very satisfactory, and it's going to be sufficient to be fine for you.
Yeah.
So once a private inspection period happens and they have the private inspection, sometimes a buyer may come back and want something to negotiate a repair or maybe a little bit of money off the house or something like that. And the seller is under no obligation to do any repairs or accept any less than the initial offer. So you can tell the buyer to take it or leave it, and the buyer has to make a decision at that point. Do they still want to pursue that property?
Right, and in the market that we're in, buyers and sellers can do that kind of stuff because they can go, hey, look it, man, I put it right back out there and I'll get it sold again, right?
But if there's a serious issue, and I just had this on a private inspection on a listing I had, there was a living room beam that was broken, and the ceiling was sagging, and the buyer sent the report to us, and I shared it with the seller, and the seller realized, hey, this is a serious issue. We need to have this we need to address this. And they had somebody somebody that they knew that they trusted, and they came out and did
So a contractor, some kind of
contractor that trusted
sure.
came out and said, yes, there's an issue here. It's going to cost about this much, and they took some money off for it. So it worked out. I mean, it worked out for the buyer and the seller, and it was a serious issue. So it was a huge thing to know about for both parties, really.
So far, the first three things we got from this point are offer was presented, you negotiated, and then you had private inspection. So those are three things, okay? So what else you got?
Next up is title work.
So title work, tell me. What about title work? Tell me.
So the title work is the title company will.
Man, we're getting rattled today, boy.
The title company will do a title search, find out what liens are on it, make sure they're paid off at closing, so that they will give the new purchaser will have clear title when they purchase the home, and the only lien on it will be the mortgage that they have on it. So.
Yep. So then after that.
And then the next thing is appraisal. The appraiser will come out, appraise the property, make sure it's for the value of the purchase agreement, that those numbers work, and they have to have the data to back it up, which we've talked about that before.
Yep.
Appraisal. So So anyways, the appraisal's next, and as long as all those values are there, the next step would be,
That was a cameo by Zach, by the way, in case you didn't know. Zach just wants to walk back and forth during our show. He wants to get he wants to get special, like what do they call? Now introducing Zach, right? So that's Zach. If you see him walking back and forth, that's who it is. Good luck. All right, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Zach. Thank you. So then you have the final city inspection if the city requires it, a walkthrough for the buyer, and then you close on it. And you get your money and hand the keys over, and you move on to your next house. They move on to their new house.
Sure. So, folks, again, the seller's journey, the way that we had it structured out is we just try to put in plain language what happens from the time you want to sell to getting that closing check. So Don and I, we have the actual seller's journey broken down. If you need that, let us know, put in the comments or something, or shoot us a message and we'll get it to you. Now, Don, I will say this. So Katie Chuber, who's going to be our guest next week, the vacation home investor, right? Her question was, Don, looking sharp. When do we see Scott in a shirt and tie? So maybe next week. We'll see. Katie, you come on dressed to the nines. I'll wear a shirt and tie. How about that?
Oh, boy.
So
calling them out.
We can't wait for you to be on, girl. So next week, folks, we're going to drop it on you now. Katie Chuber, vacation home investor. She'll give you some information about how she bought a house in investment or a vacation home resort area and how it's a great investment for her and her husband, Dan. So.
And thank you, Katie. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Dan.
Hey, so sum up that seller's journey one more time. You get the offer, the purchase agreement signed, private inspection, title work, appraisal, final walkthrough, and closing. Yeah. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it?
Well, the reason it sounds simple is because we do it every day, right? Yeah. We do it every day, and I tell people that a lot. Like, we do this every day, so it's da 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 da. Well, anything you do every day or a lot gets very easy. So for you, it might not seem that easy, but it's definitely a inline process. This happens and this happens and that happens. So we want to break it down that way. Yeah.
So next up.
Wait. So our big question for this week. So for those of you who don't know, I went away this weekend with my son and my nephew up north, went to Traverse City and a couple other places. So we just wanted to have a fun question this week. Okay, where are you going this summer on vacation, or have you already gone? So in the comments, put where you're going on vacation the rest of the summer. Or if you've already gone somewhere this summer, where are you going? Are you going to Traverse City? Are you going out of state? Where are you going? So in the comments, throw your vacation spot that you had this summer, okay?
Or staycation.
No staycation, man. We had months of
backyard oasis.
Oh, you threw backyard oasis at me. Come on, you're killing me with the backyard oasis. All right, so the city spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, is wonderful Carleton Village. Carleton Village.
And Eric Sloan's from Carleton.
Eric Sloan, our environmental specialist.
He's not from there, but he's out there. So
yeah.
So this is for you, Eric.
What kind of numbers you got, Carleton?
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about it. Did you know that Carleton was named for a popular Michigan poet, Will Carleton? And there's a road out there called Will Carleton.
Anyways, you're killing me.
He lived.
Did you look that up before you drank your warm milk? You took your warm bath last night? Really?
Eric, do you know that, Eric? Anyways,
he
lived from 1845 to 1912.
I'm falling asleep.
I don't think I've heard a single poem from him.
Get to the city spotlight.
All right, so Carleton's one square mile, and currently there are five homes on the market.
Yep.
18 pending, meaning they've accepted contracts. The seller have accepted contracts. In the last 6 months, sold and closed homes that have changed hands, 21.
21. So, guys, again, let's break down market worthy here. So let's go. Active, how many did you say you had?
5.
So 5 active, right? That's what's on the market as a competition, right? Pending at how many?
18.
18. So the market is jamming because you get 18.
18.
Sold's 21. Yeah. So you're right at that peak, 18, 21. So your biggest numbers are your back end.
Average sales price $209,000, and average square footage a little over 1,700.
See, that's funny. See, I thought it was more than that. I thought it would be bigger homes for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I misunderstood you, Carleton. Anybody from out there is Carleton, I love you anyway.
I think Carleton's a small little town, little area. There's only 2,400 people in that town, and I think if you get outside, that's Ash Township, and I think that's a lot bigger area. So
it's on Monroe, though, right?
Yeah, in Monroe County.
So you know what Monroe means, don't you? Monroe County means cheaper property taxes.
That's what they say.
Yeah, I get lots of folks that want to go to Monroe County. The Wilkowitzes, that's where they're going. People love Monroe because of low property taxes. Now, a couple quick comments from the peanut gallery. First, Adriana Tata says, I'm traveling from my bedroom to the living room. So somebody took you to task on that.
See?
Okay.
There you go.
I got
Staycation.
Kim Tunis going to Sheboygan. Good place, right? And Lisa Boy, she says, Don, I love that trivia that you do. What are you, George? Did George get the turn off? Really?
Oh, I thought. Oh,
Lisa,
yeah.
don't encourage that stuff, all right?
Thank you, Lisa.
Don't encourage that stuff, all right?
Thank you. I get it from you. It's from Lisa.
I'm telling
She's
you.
got all those good.
All right, so
things.
I don't want to take any more of our precious time with your ridiculous trivia,
All right.
okay? So let's bring in our guest, Adam Oberski, broker of Curran Oberski. A round of applause. Very nice, very nice, very nice. We'll do a couple elbow bumps, huh? A couple elbow bumps here. Yep.
All right.
Adam, we're so glad you came on the show. We kind of saved the best for the middle or the last. That's where we brought you in. So, how do you like them apples?
Thanks, I think.
How do you like them apples?
Well, we better hope this middle is good, because if not, it's going to have to be the end that's really good, huh?
So-
Is that what that's all about?
You know, so I'm from Monroe, which is down near Carleton, and
Yeah.
when you brought up Will Carleton, I was curious, so I started looking up Will Carleton. I have a quote here. There's all sorts of famous inspirational quotes by Will, and this one was relevant. He said, "If there's a heaven upon the earth, a fellow knows it when he's been away from home a week, and then he gets back again." So there's your Will Carleton quote for the
Lisa,
day.
they're all
And
around me.
so
Look what you've done to me. Look what you've
Where you
done to me.
going?
I
Where
got
you
the,
going? Where you going
the
this
deep
summer?
readers on both sides here. So, Adam, we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're definitely talking about the market because you, more than any broker that I know within 100 miles of here, knows the market. Okay, that's one. Two, we want to talk about the culture here at Curran Oberski because I get lots of questions. I know Don does too of folks that want to get into real estate.
Sure.
Right? And then we'll just talk about stories around fun stuff. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Sure.
So, Don, you want to start off?
So, Adam, describe the culture of Century 21 and Curran Oberski that we're a part of and that you and Bob Curran have
Yeah.
procured here.
So you guys, I mean, a lot of your viewers are watching it, right? I mean, it's a fun place to work. You know, we happen to be fortunate enough to be one of the most productive real estate firms in the entire country.
Yeah.
So, you know, on average, we sell roughly 20 homes per person, where the national average is 4 or 5 homes per person. So, I think people like to be around other productive people. I think it inspires everybody, but you know, I always like to tell people and I appreciate the nice introduction. You know, I'm a pretty involved broker, and you know, if I do a good job, I say that my managing brokers, Lisa, Kim, Jill, Laura, team, Davey, Bob, you know, they're better than me, and they make me look good. And then the next thing I say is, just as good as they are, we have an incredible staff of administrative support that supports you guys on a daily basis, so you can be out selling 20 homes per realtor. And you know, that team we have that is in the office working with you guys every single day is spectacular. So a lot of training, a lot of support. You know, and even through the pandemic and stay-at-home order, it was a lot of fun because you guys were giving us recommendations of things we can do, and we did a lot of, and we were living life on Zoom for a long time.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of education, a lot of support. But it's, you know, above all, I think the way that we were talking earlier, and I said, you know, if you want to really know what we're all about, we've given out hundreds of copies of books, of a book called The Power of Ethical Management. And that book does a great job kind of summarizing the way we think. So we're always going to do the right thing, even if it costs us a little bit of money or even a relationship sometimes, because you know, that's how you carry a reputation for over 70 years.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that doesn't happen on its own.
No.
Like, you do the right thing every time, and people remember that.
Well, I think both realtors that work for us or prospective realtors that come and work for us, I think, and consumers in return, I think that everyone's kind of attracted to that. So it kind of creates a brand and a reputation for us all, and it works for everyone.
Yeah, you got to be able to sleep at night.
That's
I mean, it's that simple, right? So it's if you do the right things all the time, you can sleep at night.
it's, you know, we live in a stressful world, so sleep's difficult enough, and we don't need to be conscious of keeping us up.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying integrity is really, really important with the company?
It is. I mean, look, you're dealing with the general public, and
Right.
we sell 2,500 houses a year. And so, if you look at all the, whether it was, you know, John Green with the moving company, or a title company, or a lender, or all the other people that touch a real estate transaction, you know, if there's a something that goes wrong, you affect a lot of people's lives.
Right.
And so being honest and ethical, it's extremely important, and then people want to keep coming back to you.
Right.
Yep.
It's the only way.
I agree. And it's referral business basically. Yeah.
Right.
Like if you do the right thing, they're going to tell somebody. They're going to tell somebody else, and so and so and so forth. Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's why we're growing. Didn't you say something about that? That agent wise?
Yeah, I mean
growing.
I don't know if it's we've been incredibly busy and fortunate. I mean, we there you go, you're reconnected. I think right now we had a leadership meeting the other day. We have roughly, I think just over 30 agents that are set to join the company over the next 30 or so days. A mixture of both agents joining our company from other brokerages, or maybe it's a new agent getting into the business. And I mean, I would put that out there as, you guys do a great job. If you know somebody that's thinking about getting into real estate, or there's another agent that you do business with, and you say, hey, these guys fit our culture, why don't you guys give them a call, or you talk to them for us. That's really how we grow. We don't. We have about 200 realtors, and
I was going to ask you that. That was my next question. Yep.
Yeah, we've never tried to be the biggest or the biggest player out there, or have the most realtors or anything like that. It was just, for us, it was more about running a good business, having a great reputation, and running a good company. And you guys do a great job being part of it.
And I can tell you too. I'll be honest. I know you've been here a little longer than I have, right? So I met with Lisa Boyce in that office right there. I saw a picture of her son in a wrestling T-shirt. We started talking about wrestling.
Oh, that was it.
And it's been family the whole rest of the time. I mean, I told your wife before. I said, this changed my life.
Yeah.
This changed my life.
Well, that's a big part of it too. Is like, we've been at charity events with you and your wife, and Scott, we see all over the place. We're doing we're sponsoring the golf outings for the schools that you're involved with, and the football, the wrestling team that you coach. I mean, when you're in the real estate world, if you're an active realtor, especially here at Curran Oberski, there's really no other way to do it. And that's we take a lot of pride in that.
All right, so let me ask you the hard question then.
All right.
It's kind of tongue in cheek a little bit. So what makes us a good agent and a not so agent? How do they look different to each other?
You're going to set me up. You're going to get me in trouble. So what makes the difference between a good agent and a bad? I mean, fundamentally, it's answering your phone.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that there's, especially for a client, and there's nothing more frustrating than when you call somebody and you need an answer, you're trying to get something done, and they're not responding. That's just, it's unacceptable in our business, and I know that can be pretty frustrating, but what makes you great? It's a lot of the things we just talked about.
Yeah. It's definitely, I guess what I was getting at, and you don't have to answer. I'm just teasing on that, but there are agents out there in the world that you just shake your head and go, what the heck is going on? Yeah.
Well, those are your words, not mine.
Yeah, it's okay. That's okay. I'll say it.
I'll also say, I think something that separates a lot of the top producers at our company is, you can go into, look, if you walk into any of our offices on a Friday afternoon, you go into Ford Road, there's 90 agents over there that are licensed, and people walk into that office and they say, is it like this every day? Mm-hmm. And, we have a lot of people coming into our offices every day. There's constant training and things that you can be involved in to sharpen your skills, and I think that really helps separate, the great ones. It helps us outpace our competition, is what I would say. I love listening to what you're talking about the seller's journey, because we talk about each one of those steps that you guys go through for hours on end,
right. Yeah.
Talking about best practices and how to manage certain situations, etc. So those are some of the things.
Right. Yeah, so let's talk market. So locally, what do you see through the rest of this year? Let's start there. Mm-hmm. And then at some point, what do you see for next year? What do you see?
Yeah, you guys hit on a lot of the things that I would advise. So there's something called an absorption rate, and it's something that I follow pretty closely in all the markets that we're in throughout Metro Detroit. And then I'm fortunate enough to have some good friends around the country that I mastermind with on a weekly basis, and we talk about these things. So a normalized market, what an absorption rate is, it's based on the pace of homes selling in a marketplace and the number of homes for sale. If no other homes came for sale, how many months would it take for all of those homes to sell?
So to clean out the whole inventory is what you're saying.
Correct.
Clean it all. Okay.
Correct. So in a normalized market, in a stabilized market, it's roughly 4 months. Some would say 4.5, but I would say 4 months is a normalized market. Right now in Metro Detroit, most communities are in the mid 2s, and some people are in 2s, and there's even some communities that are in the 1 month
Wow.
supply of inventory. So what that means is homes are selling 3 times faster than they're coming on the market. And it's incredibly, I mean, there's maybe never been a better time to be a seller than today. And I'm not talking like next month, or I'm talking right now as we sit here.
Yep.
Because what happened over the COVID pandemic, guys, is there were so many buyers that came into the market, and we were already in a seller's market, and the buyer demand just grew and grew and grew, and inventory wasn't coming on the market because we were very restricted on what we were able to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was all this pent up demand. So now these the buyers, like you guys said, they're going out and fighting for the good product that's coming on the market, and you're seeing multiple offers and bidding wars and appraisal coverage and all these things happening. So it's very tough for buyers right now. But the nice thing for them is, like you guys said, their buying power, with the interest rate being as low as it is, they can afford a more expensive house.
Yep.
So there's also major advantages to getting out there and locking in a 2.7% interest rate on a mortgage, which is crazy.
Right.
So on both sides, again, folks, and don't misunderstand what we were talking about. On both sides, and the seller side especially, it's ridiculous to buy. It's a sell right now. It's ridiculous. And right now we're talking, not next month or whatever, right now. But the buyer side, you have to be competitive, right? But your buying power is huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And just so you know, Carolyn Babbitt's my cousin, agrees with you. She said true, the whole thing you said. And I've got, let's see who else.
Thank you.
And Adriana Tenzo, why do you think so many people are looking to buy now? She want to know that. Why do you think so many people are looking to buy now?
So I think it's what we talked about. I think that it was that interest rates are so low right now that, it's the challenge we're having is that new home construction drives listings.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So construction was frozen. So we don't have enough listings coming on the market to satisfy the buyer demand that's out there. I don't know that there's more buyers in the marketplace. I think the bigger problem is that there's less listings available for them.
Yep. I would agree with you. I would agree 100%. And that's why people are clawing at each other to get through things. You know what I mean?
It's a fight. It's good. It's a hard fight, but you got to fight it if you want to buy something. But right now, with the buying power, interest rates.
And Don, for all of your viewers, I say this all the time, and your clients are lucky to work with you guys, and I'd say this about the Curran Oberski realtors as well, is that's why it is so important to work with a real estate professional that understands the market, that's having these conversations, that can put buyers ahead of the market in many cases and give them the best shot to get in the home of their dreams,
Right.
or
exactly right.
to sell the house for the most money possible.
Right.
Yeah.
So Adam, listen, your wife just popped on and she's watching
Uh-oh.
now. So you want to say hello to Alana, you can.
Hi dear, hi boys.
So we apologize for keeping him out so late. He'll be home before the street lights are on, we promise. Okay? But Alana, thank you for watching. Thank you definitely for watching. All right, Don.
So what about nationally? When you talking to your
It's
mastermind?
consistent. I mean, it's throughout the country, the same thing's going on. It's limited inventory levels. It's a huge problem. There's a ton of buyer demand that's not being able to get satisfied right now. So it's pretty consistent across the entire country right now. I'll tell you that there's the restrictions still going on with COVID, and things are really throwing things off in certain markets versus others, but that's still going on too.
Yeah, I got you. All right. So, Don, who is the fan of the show for this week? Because this is your week, my friend.
Babs Phillips.
Babs Phillips.
Babs.
That's it, Babs. In the comments, Babs.
You guys need a drawing or something. You need a giveaway or something for Babs.
Babs Phillips.
We do have some. We are
Now,
doing something.
let me ask you a
We're having it
question.
now.
Is Babs related to you?
She is.
How so?
It's my mom.
See, I told him. I go, look, you got to make sure your
Mom.
mom's a fan of the
Mom.
show. He's going to see his mom after this. He's going to the lake,
Going out to
right?
the lake, yeah.
So, what a nice gesture to make mom a fan of the show. So, folks in the crowd, let's hear this real quick in the comments. Babs.
Or mom.
Way to
There
go,
we
Babs.
go.
Way to go, Babs.
There we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, quick one that we want to throw out there, and we'll let Adam answer first, and then you and I can do a little bit. Do you have a story for the road?
Story from the road. So, story of doing real estate, being out in the field.
Yes, story from the road.
Yeah. Several. I mean, that's what I spend a lot of my day.
I bet you do.
I spend a significant part of my day dealing with.
Yeah.
I think there's an incredibly uncomfortable listing presentation. I would challenge any agents out there, if you've had other similar situations, it'd be fun to see what they say. But we have a realtor that showed up for a listing appointment, and they walk into the house, and the wife answers the door, and they go sit down at the kitchen table, and they start talking, and he says, well, is your husband? It was a referral, and he knew the couple, and he says, he didn't know the couple was a referral, and he says, your husband here? And, oh yeah, he's out back, let me go get him. So it was a hot summer day, and so the husband comes in. Well, he was out back doing yard work, and he was shirtless. So when he walks in the house, he walked in with no shirt on. Well, then he sat down at the table like us right here for an hour and a half during the listing presentation with no shirt on.
The shirtless listing presentation.
The entire time.
Yes, that's awesome.
So I asked the realtor, of course, I said, well, did you get the listing signed? And he said, I did. And it was
it was hard, but I did.
It was the fastest listing presentation he's ever had. He said,
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to tell you this little story from the road. Yesterday I was at a closing. You know where it was?
Ascoda.
Yeah, my buddy Bill.
Oh, there we go.
He finally closed on his house, his lake house in Ascoda. Now, here's where it becomes a story from the road. Okay, I got calls, and I'm talking to different people, like my family, or I'm talking to other realtors. You're going to that closing, or you're going to that? Yeah, going to that closing, first one, and you didn't. I mean, like, really, you're not going to go? Why would you not go?
Right.
So, folks, here's the thing.
That's part of the job.
It's part of being a professional.
That's right.
You got to go. First, Don and I were talking about this earlier today. You got to do the walkthrough. Because you don't know what's going on in that house in the time that you haven't been there, right? And you got to go to closing. You have to. Like that's kind of it's a celebratory time, right?
Absolutely.
But you don't want little funny things to go goofy. You just don't. Like,
Right.
That's part of being a professional. Like,
Right.
You had a little one about the closing that happened yesterday, huh?
Yeah, the walkthrough, I think it's one of the most important things of the transaction, because you can catch so much on a walkthrough before the closing. So the idea behind the walkthrough is go through the house before you close. So if there's any issues with it, especially on a vacant house, and this was a vacant house, and they didn't go through the house, the seller's been out of the house for a few weeks, nobody went back to cut the grass is long, and I didn't have to go to the closing because the seller's already closed on it. So I went over there to get the lockbox while they were closing, and I got the lockbox off because they weren't going through there. I got the keys, and they went by after the closing, and the grass is long. And they want the grass cut after the fact, and they haven't even gone into the house yet. So who knows what's going to pop up when they go through the house. So it's so important to walk through. It just takes 15 minutes out of your time on the way to the closing to do that. It's such a huge, you can avoid problems like that. So now that agent's got an issue with the buyer because they're unhappy the grass is long, and
Yeah.
what you gonna do?
So,
right?
Don, give us a quick summary of what happened today. Give us a quick
All right.
show summary.
All right, so where are you vacationing this summer?
Was a
Where have
question.
you gone? Was a question of the
Yep.
day. We did the market update, seller's journey from offer to closing, city spotlight,
Carleton.
Carleton.
Yep.
Interview with
Adam Oberski.
Oberski. Thank you, Adam.
You're
Very, very
Taking the time every day, we definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. Fan of the show, Show-Babs Phillips. Stories from the road, which we just went through.
Bunch of us, yep.
And
So we're gonna try this, folks. We're getting heckled, Don and I now. People are heckling us about our sign off. So we're gonna make it a little more important, a little more interactive and fun. So what we're gonna
Am I
do
safe?
here?
Am I safe?
You're
Yes,
safe.
yes.
We're not gonna throw anything at you like Rotten Tomatoes or anything. I promise.
do you know the sign off though?
No.
Have you
We'll
ever
get
watched
you.
the
We'll
sign
get you.
off?
We'll get you.
All right,
We'll get you
we'll
there.
try-
So
we'll have to train
here's what's
you.
gonna happen. Okay, we're gonna do our normal. I'm Scott. I'm Don, and he's gonna throw in. I'm Adam, and then we're talking, and we're gonna point to you. What we want you to do in the comments is just type in real estate as fast as you can. We want to see how many people can type it as
Well,
quickly
they
as you can.
were supposed to type in the rest of it.
Well,
You're not supposed to give them the answer to the quiz.
Wow, that's all right. That's all right.
That's a teacher giving the answer to the quiz.
Here's what we're gonna do.
Here.
So we'll try it. So we're gonna do our sign off, and we're gonna stick around for a second. We want you to type in real estate in big letters and see how many folks get it. Because like I said, tired of getting heckled. I want to get a good feeling from this thing. Ready?
Or maybe you could have them make suggestions.
Yes.
For ClLose
Yeah,
as
let's
well.
do that. Yes.
Maybe.
Real estate or something else. Something.
Either way, we're sticking around
Type
for
something
about an
out.
extra minute or so after we sign off. Just so you know. Are you ready? All right. I'm Scott,
I'm done.
I'm Adam.
and
We're
we're
talking.
real estate. You know we are. All right. Thank you so very much. Like I said, we're going to hang out for about a minute here to see who types in real estate in the comments for us. We'll see. So I'll give you a minute. Because like I said, been getting heckled all week on real estate. Okay? We just want to try something different. That's all. There, see, we got people. They know how to do it.
There's some people.
They know how it works. Look at that.
They know how to spell
Got
real estate.
Adriana Tata, got Kim Tudis, got Kathy Wilkowitz,
Thank
Lisa
you, Kim.
Boyce, my cousin Carolyn Babbitts, Kathy Cordy, Billy
Is
Ferguson.
Mama?
I'm Billy, and we're talking real estate. Billy Ferguson, you can't be. You can't be. Come on. All right, you guys, thank you so much, and we are officially going to sign off now. We'll see you next week. Thanks so much.